Right now is what we're building, right now is what we're doing, right now is where we're at. Only way it goes is why we're doing it right now. We have to do what we have to do right now in order to get to where we want to go. Welcome to Siloh. So, right now, I'm bringing on a person to help me do some outreach. And when I first signed them on, first thing I was thinking like, hey, I got somebody to sign them on, blah, blah. Come do what I need to do, move on from there. They're gonna give me leads, they can do what I need to do, get me more business in the door. Then I realized that's not how it works. I'm looking at the outcome but not the fostering the culture of the company itself. Vice versa, when you're working, you want your manager to make sure that they're personable with you, they're talking to you, fostering a culture for you to actually want to be a part of and not just a result, I guess you could say. So in the 90s, Motorola and Zenith were very popular.
You're not loved at home. This is home. I don't love you.
I'm in the middle of a monologue. So like I was saying, fostering the culture is what really matters. There's a book called Built to Last that talks about the difference between visionary companies and comparison companies. Visionary companies are companies that last a long time, past the founders, past the CEOs, getting traded off, passing away and things like that, versus companies that just are popular in the moment and can't get past CEO phase or can't get past the great founder that they had. So one of the companies that they talk about as visionary is Nordstrom. At Nordstrom, they have a high company culture where it's competitive, it's fostering, and when people ask, why do you work at Nordstrom, it's because they love it there. Not because they have to work there, not because they're collecting a paycheck. They literally call themselves Nordies. Learning right now from the ground level of just hiring a few people and then scaling to more people and learn how to foster a culture with the few and then bringing that culture to many is what really the goal is. This marketing agency just itself, just talking about marketing agency here, it's not gonna be something that just is, making a little money here, no, I truthfully love marketing. So making this marketing agency a company that scales and has to foster culture to people that want to work for the company, not just simply just collecting paycheck. And I feel like once you get past that stage of learning what did you miss when you were working and implementing that into now when you're managing people, it's very important. The biggest thing I would say about fostering putting a company together that actually makes a difference isn't just relevant when you're alive, but relevant past you and your kids and your kids' kids. Great example would be Zenith versus Motorola. I'm sure you know who Motorola is, but doubt you know who Zenith is. Motorola had no backing engineers, but they encouraged dissent, discussion, disagreement, and gave individuals room to grow. You didn't feel like you was at a job, you just felt like you was locked in a box. Motorola did the opposite. Motorola's founder told his sons to reach out to people for their creative leadership contribution. The early part was obsessive management succession. Essentially put, making sure that every manager that's coming to the program is built with Motorola and understands Motorola's incentives and values, and then knows that when the next CEO is gone, the next person is ready for the next job up. Zenith, on the other hand, had no plan for succession. They ran the company based on his personality of the founder. The personality was even shown through the ads, so thinking like OxyClean. And then when he left, the talent was passed on with no preparation. Company failed. Once Motorola went up, even with the CEO of Motorola at the time passing on succession, Zenith ended up falling because Zenith had no succession plan. Zenith had no plan for how they should move forward after that whole personality of the founder left. So by putting the values in place that makes you scale past what you're doing. Similar in the modern terms, Apple. When Steve Jobs left, yes, he was the ideal and the planting face of the company. But once he left, Apple was able to continue going because the values and standards he placed into the company before he even passed on. Values, all great and all. But throughout the book, they have one commonality through all visionary companies compared to comparison companies. It had a credo. The credo wasn't to make more money. It wasn't financial gains. It wasn't allegiance to their stockholders. When difficult decisions arise, can we refer to the credo to make sure we're on the right path? And at first when I read this book, I was like, I'm too early to make the credo. No matter how early you are, you need to make some standards and build the foundation. So that way when you're further on with your business and with your company, you gotta start somewhere. Starting somewhere would be with your credo and what you believe is the driving force of this business and what you're willing to do for people. I'll give you an example of a credo, then we'll get to work. Johnson & Johnson is a great example of somebody that's been around for a long time. He's gonna be around for a long time. This credo was written in 1943, the credo I'm referring to. We believe our first responsibility is to the patients, doctors, and nurses, to mothers and fathers and all others who use our products and services. First part, I'm not gonna read the whole credo because it's kind of lengthy, but the next thing is we are responsible to employees who work with us throughout the world. We must provide an inclusive work environment where each person must be considered as an individual. We are responsible to the communities in which we live and work and to the world community as well. We must help people be healthier by supporting better access and care in more places around the world. Our final responsibility is to our stockholders. Business must make a sound profit. We must experiment with new ideas. Research must be carried on, innovative programs developed. Investments made for the future, mistakes paid for. As you can tell, first was to the patients, doctors, and nurses, to the mothers and the fathers, and all those who use their products. Then next is to the employees. After that, it's to the communities they live and work for. And lastly, it's to the stockholders. When times arise of difficulty, when they're making a difficult decision in the company, they can refer to this and know first is the people we work with, second is our employees, third is the communities, fourth is stockholders. Yeah, Johnson & Johnson been founded since 1886. And they're still relevant in 2026. So creating the credo and creating my values that you believe by and you want your company to live by, and then transferring that into the employees and fostering a culture around those values is what makes the company not only scalable and not only successful, but long lasting, long past when you're not there anymore. So with that being said, let's get to work. The app, man, a lot of progress has been made. A lot.
Yeah, I've been seeing. I was on it today. When I'm doing the UI stuff, it's like pretty much one shot. Like I make sure to prompt it as good as possible, give it all the stuff, because when I do it, that's where I see it.
Influence-wise, do you know anybody in the athletic space? So that way, hey, when the time comes out, we know who to reach out to. But even somebody who went to a D1 college and they might still got connections to their coaches. Like, I don't gotta be just football, by the way. If we get a couple colleges in the same conference, we can start talking to the conference people and talk about like making this almost a standard. And D1, P5, they got nutritionists and chefs. One thing you should look into for decision making and how we're gonna prompt this and do this, man, look into game theory. To get to the number 110, there's multiple ways of doing so. Like we're thinking of like a multiplication table, 1 through 10, 1 through 10 on this side.
Yeah.
There's multiple ways to get to 110, but you're not gonna, if we're comparing two variables, you're not gonna have the best possible situation on both sides to get you the maximum number on both sides.
Yeah.
So it's about like trying to figure out ways, okay, well, we know we need to let, for example here, we know we need to let in, the more people we let in, that'd be great for traction. But also the more people we let in, talking about the cost and things like that. That's two variables we're talking about right now. So we have to figure out what's the highest possible result we can get to that level that we want to. So what's the highest positive? It's literally just like a matrix. Like it's like, that's what I use for everything, like all my decision making and comparisons, game theory. So now we'll chop it up though, man, but now do your thing, we'll go from there.
Okay.
All right, man, I'll hit y'all later. What do I always say? We are building, we are building, we are building. So right now we just got done with the meeting. A lot of things got straightened out. We're going into launch week next week. So we need everything this week to be done. And then next week is just simply just bug fixes. I got to finish up stuff from the marketing agency and then we gotta get the building. Going to Capital Factory today. We're going to church tonight. All right, time to get active. So, talking to my dad here, he just got a book that's releasing out, Suing Himself, and talking about leadership. And the concept we can talk about is about how even in church and even in business, you gotta realize that people aren't gonna treat how you treat things. He has more experience than I do in it because I'm stepping into it myself now, but I'll let him talk on this some more.
The leadership is all about influence, according to John Maxwell. And one of the things that my gifting and my talents lie in is developing leaders. I've learned how to be very good at logistics. I've learned how to go from point A to point B. And I've learned how to change mindsets to expand, to receive more knowledge, or even increase creativity. AI has given us all an opportunity to increase what we know, how to do it, and improve on it. But it does not take away from the foundation, which is your idea, your vision, your creativity. So I encourage people to enhance by AI, not let AI do all the work. Today we're working on church leadership. Also we're doing some things about secular leadership of businesses. So we're coming up with some concepts. Myself and Kendall just talking about today, we're at a table. There's a workshop that I'm working on now, a book that's coming out called Table Talk. How the proximity at the table can change your purpose at the table. It'll change your perspective, how you see it. It'll change your perception of how you feel about it. So there's several P's, I got about 20 of them, that happen at the table whenever you sit down at any table. And when you get up from the table, your purpose should be enhanced, or sit back down at the table.
And use cases, and learning that the overarching use case needs to be very easily communicated to every single silo of the business. So getting X amount of people on the wait list, well, that could be clearly communicated through every single part of the business, but how each part of the business gets there is different, but it needs to be clearly communicated that this is the overarching goal. It shouldn't be something that's very hard to conceptualize and understand. You shouldn't have to get 1,000 different ways to get there and all that stuff. It's just simple. This is the overarching goal. This is how we're gonna get there. This is how everybody needs to work to get there. And from there, you bring it down in your group or in your part of the company on how you see fit to get to that goal. Yeah, I mean, you got anything else to say about it, man? Fuck you, you're bold.
Man, I'm working on it. Creativity births creativity. And so I'm glad to be at the table with you to learn. Not only be a sponge and learn, but you also have to be a filter, because everything's not for you. So I was telling him earlier, just because an opportunity is presented does not mean you eliminate the process of going through and making sure you understand it. That way you can discern or decide if it's for you or not. Every idea or opportunity is not for you. You have to have a process where you find out what's best for you.
It's application. It's learning it. It's about exposure. This is my pops always teach me, exposure. You don't really know something until you learn about it, see it. So a lot of times he exposed me to where I am now. So yeah, so that's what we're working on right now. And how to break those concepts down and see what's exposing each other to different ideas and how he runs his and how I run mine. Yeah, man. All right, then.
Yeah, we working. This week is the last week of building. Next week is straight bug fixes. Today is Thursday. Similar to that store on Saturday. And then from there, we're just bug fixing to make sure that we're in coordination with Apple where it needs to be. Flip side of Play Store. Onboarding done. Meal plate generation done. Recipe database done. Meal check is done. Meal swap retention, we're working on that. Plan regen done. Household, we possibly might put it after the MVP. Sub suggest, we're gonna put that after the MVP. Macro dashboard done. Budgeting, we're working on right now. Workout done. Write the vision, make it plain, and we're getting it done. Marketing is done. We're shooting a lot of videos next week for it. We got some people to talk to. We got some people that's gonna run the video. We got some people to shoot the video. We got people that's gonna be the influencers for the videos. I don't know that whole thing about locking in and staying in the house. That's a lie. Don't lock in and stay in the house. You leave the crib, because otherwise you won't meet nobody. I went to Capital Factor earlier this week. Capital Factor, if you don't know, is just a big networking firm. When people come in, they hold events, networking events, talking to different people in different spaces. People hear people talk, and that's how I end up talking to people from Capital Factor. Got some connections with them in similar industries, with doctors, the Medicare industry, and then we got people in the sports industry, we got people in the marketing industry, and these are all use cases that can be used for the application, to say the least. You might be confused why I'm talking about that. Use cases, insurance and wellness. Use cases. Coach, nothing is done in vain. This is all strategically done, literally, strategically done. It's not about building an app. It's about building a brand, a company that scales, that's visionary, that long stands, that doesn't fade with time, but improves with time, like a good wine. That kind of rhyme. This is what we're doing. This is how we're doing it, and this is what is being done. Full head of steam. We market it next week. Posting our videos next week, building hype around our product. We're doing a wait list. Join the wait list right now. Let's get to work. We got sprint to the finish now.